Viper's going to be pretty capable of just culling everyone, and this is going to be the dark technology that Tarzan's going to employ. He's a man that still does like playing the Talia, and he's going to...
Oh, man.
All right, here he goes. Seismic Shove isn't going to land this time. He's going to be able to throw the threaded volley through, and Lahens has to flash. That's the axe. Some very early adoration stacks. And Ghost...
A nice pushback by Summit as On Fleek looking to make a flash knockup play here. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, Chovy's in position, though. Once you get down with the hero's entrances, there it is, the taunt to come through. That should be a double kill to come out, as On Fleek is going to use the Void Assault to get him out of here, but Tarzan turns up. Will he have the flick this time? The answer is no, as Threaded Volley is going to hit some minions, but On Fleek's buying time and nothing else. After the hop is enough to create the distance, and the ultimate isn't going to execute this time. This should be a Mountain Drake going over to Griffin on the back end, so no Herald and Drake, unless Ghost and Joker can do something crazy. Not going to happen. Whirling Death, Shelly should have enough to pop this one. Oh, very, very close. Sun Turret's going to replace it, so look at that. Sandbox tear him down, and they put him straight back up. Oh, we could have the entire extended family. My goodness, we are really exploring the Rivers family tree. This isn't Infernal Drake going down extremely low. Tarzan just not going to be able to get into the pit. It was vision control gained. And what we said before, actually, team fights where they have a lot of CC to lay it together. The Weave as well is going to come in. Hero's entrance going to be available here for Chovy. Jumps on forward. The Culling's going to rip Joker apart, but they have survived the first salvo of the damage here. Joker's going to be sacrificed, but can they get anything in the back line? Oh my god! The Gnar just dives forward, and Sword shows you exactly why.
Right here, the Azir. Definitely a scary champion.
Yep, Flickback is going to land onto Summit. Lahens is going to go, as that is the Gnar falling down. Now Griffin trying to chase. Viper still very healthy, but... Oh, too soon. Too soon. Come on, we're Gorilla fans here, all right? We're Gorilla fans. This is the LCK. Whoa! Does find the Mega Gnar, dives his way out as Summit flashes in, and no Seismic Shove yet again. Tarzan wanting to find more. The sticks are going to come down as the Void Assault unnecessary. Hero's entrance is just going to slam down, though. The taunt, and Chovy again just dives on forward and gets a double. Saved a lot of the early game for Griffin, bottom side of the map, but you're exactly right. After that, it was went from a good news story to a horror movie. Though, so we're not singing September just yet. Fleek dives out of the pit, and now we got pings on the Baron. I feel like now, as we hit level 18 and things like that, a lot of those nerfs that did come in aren't as much of a... Guardian Angels being an advantage for Sandbox Gaming. Having double Zhonya's, though, means that... Okay, so it comes on down. Oh, Summit, you could be in trouble. There are two teleports jumping on top of you. Is this going to mean a Baron? As Summit gets out of the way of the Boomerang, the Hyperproc will speed up the Nara's Chovy, just can't get in range in time. And this Baron's going down so fast, the teleport. Is it going to be... Oh, that's steal from Tarzan! He lands it, doesn't get the Seismic Shoves, but who cares when you can get the smite? And they're winning the ensuing fight as Ingo soared into the backline. Already Viper has torn apart the Sandbox Gaming damage, and Dove goes golden, and he's looking on in horror as he just becomes 800 gold to be taken to the Griffin.
An acceleration gate to help him get out of here.
This is actually a big deal, though. They're wasting time right now.
Oh, man.
As, of course, there are no minion waves heading up there. It's okay. Viper is just going to get exploded, but Void Assault is going to put him in the GA, and Viper's going to be able to create distance. Gets the double tap. See you later, Rek'Sai. And now Summit might be in trouble as well. Good boot back. That's going to avoid the taunt as well, as GA does go down. Viper had already teleported, though, and there was no chance that Jace was getting out. That's the taunt. And now Griffin are going to move towards the bottom lane in a turret, and we'll be able to get this one for free with so many dead.
And that is definitely a tilter, and Summit right at the end there, he probably should have just let On Fleek die. Instead, tried to make a decision to save him, ends up losing himself and the Guardian Angel in the process. Gnar, meanwhile, up in the top lane, raising turrets as well, and
yeah, this is the
I hate to say
thing.
it, Atlas, but I think the game just got completely blown to a point of no return. As Griffin, they're going to get Elder.
They are. And also, this is all of a sudden for me to stop believing in Griffin's power of team fighting, especially with a composition that does it so well. As you're not going to be able to do it this time, mate. That is an instant taunt as the Void Assault is in there. He turns golden, but Sword, he's starting to fight, but maybe a little bit too quickly as the Rek'Sai lasts for a long time. Empowered Shock Blast, though, is all that Summit is going to be able to offer. The Weaver's Wall. Remember what this ability did? It stopped you from defending your turrets, and it's going to continue doing that as they take down the outer in the mid lane.
Actually having him really deep inside of the river.
Yeah, they've started it instantly. Tarzan's going to come on over. Ghost is still hitting the Baron. A bit of miscommunication maybe as Griffin have moved themselves in there. On Fleet going to make it a 50-50 as he dives underneath the ground. Tarzan, oh, he's not going to get it, but Chovy will pick it up. Dove is going to miss the ultimate as Sword gets himself over the wall with the flash, and in the back line, everyone's just dying. You can see Sword can play frontline. He's having a great time here as he kills the Thresh. And Dove just going to have to try and shift some sands to get out of the way, but it'll need to be the sands of time, guys, because this one is over. Griffin have toppled Sandbox yet again, and Chovy, he just wants to finish it now. Inhibitor finally goes down, and Griffin aren't going to be routed in game number 1.
Yeah, game number 1 going to go over to Griffin. Summit is going to have to sit there and watch as the Nexus is destroyed. And Griffin, it all started with that Baron steal.
Yep, 34 minutes into the game, guys, was exactly when Sandbox towards the top side of the map, and the Yasuo comes out. The synergy on top side for the Yasuo is not there. There are no knock wept from Sandbox. Chovy moves over as he has priority in the mid lane, and there we go. Okay, Taunt will land onto Joker. The Unbreakable's there, stops a lot of damage. Tarzan gets exhausted, but First Blood goes to Chovy on the Aurelia. They should even be able
close quarters with one another and the opponents.
Threads the needle on the Cocoon, and Summit is going to be able to get the passive shield on Fleet. Here in time as Chovy turns up. Tarzan gets his way out. Vanguard's edge is there, but it's a great flash to come in from On Fleek. They are going to even this one up as Summit. Okay, On Fleek is able to get out of there, and Chovy moves back. Gets some work done as far as eliminating structures, but no plates to come from it. No extra money, and I think the Mountain Drake feels like a more impactful.
Transpired right there.
Also able to grab this turret on the top side of the map. That'll be first turret gold going over to Ghost, and he's behind. Tarzan's going to join in as Viper takes it down on the bottom side of the map as well. So mirrored map state, but the extra 100 going to be going into the back pocket. Hens, he wants to challenge on the Summit here. Heroic entrance, not going to be utilized there as okay, flashes forward. They do manage to stop the Realm Warp. Summit gets himself a shield, does have the Seraph's Embrace, but he's in the grinder. That is a very dead ride. And now we're going to have man advantage here in this mid lane. No teleport available from Sword. Summit can make his way forward. Lehens gets himself under his outer turret. Ultimate is going to land there. Fate's Call means the Dove just denied the ult, and that's an easy pickup for Viper, but honestly a mistake from Sandbox. Sword finally waddles his way in, and Joker slowed down, but not taken down, as the flash had to be used.
Oh, and here comes Chovy.
Yeah, teleports come in from Summit just to try and get enough people here, but Shelly's going to join the party. It's still a person advantage in this mid lane.
Shelly only going to be able to get one end now. Meanwhile, as we come back to live, Summit managing to pick up a turret down here. The gold is even. Griffin now going to be able to pick up themselves the Clown Drake. It will force another mouse.
Yeah, he's going to face check Sword. The disdain is going to be very easy. Takes a lot of damage. Good ultimate defensively, but Viper should be able to use that Marshall Post to get himself there. Realm Warp comes down, but Joker is going to die. Cocoon not going to land. Sword tanking a lot of damage as Dove is going to be fighting with Chovy on the top side. The flash does come in, but Chovy's just so tanky. Does eventually have to use the flash to get himself out of the way as Corrosive Charge comes in. The flow was built up, but it ain't built up enough. And Sandbox going to lose on multiple fronts. Aren't in positions where they can truly capitalize. Or the champions just aren't there. As On Fleek, yeah, he's just out of position, guys. Doesn't have Ragnarok. Blade Surge going to come in. Is it all a cunning ruse, though, as Ghost going to get on top, wants to try and get the flash forward. It's going to be Summit that gets on top. There's the Fate's Call. The Rise should die here. Fantastic taunt from Lehens. And once again, Griffin giveth, Griffin taketh away. Because he's been hitting it with his autos for so incredibly long.
Tarzan has more HP than what appears because he has Smite.
All right, we're going for the turn. Oh my god, Dove just explodes. We do have the Olaf on the backside of this fight, but he's just going to go down. He's more food for this Callista. She's so strong at her current level in this meta, and Viper is showing that he can pilot her to such beautiful effect. We've all seen what he's been practicing in solo queue. We didn't know what he could get done on the stage, and damn, does it look good. Joker now in the back of this pit does not have the unsealed spellbook, so he was just going for a cheeky steal. Won't find out Viper has gone for the I want to win the game right now build, as he has the QSS. Second after second, and this is not sieging time.
Oh, ends up actually getting.
Yeah, Vanguard's Edge comes in just to try and get that kill. Defiant Dance is going to be there. Chovy picks up the kill, but at what cost?
Mountain Break, though, is that if you guys are behind, if you're on the defensive, it doesn't really do anything. They end up just being worthless stats.
Denying it from Griffin is still a big deal, though.
That is true. And so for right now, they won't come online until later. If Sandbox can manage to regain footing in this game, no Joker right now. Full-on retreat in the mid lane. This is, at least is going to be the mid inhibitor going down. Ghost canceled his recall.
Yeah, well, they don't have inner turrets.
Yeah.
Okay, so
even 2 or 3 members remaining, those double mountains are going to come online and easily result in a Baron cap.
Well, right now you've got Griffin engaging on the top side. Sword's going to be a long way away from this fight. There's now Chovy, denying so much with the Defiant Dance. His heroic entrance gets Lehens back towards his team. Viper now, he's picked up the gargoyle, but Joker uses to stand behind me. The flash forward, a little bit of a disconnect here from Griffin, but Summit has to go golden. Now in the back line, more golden members of Griffin as Ghost is trying to flash. Tarzan gets on top of him, no damage from the Lucian in the back line, and that means that the Kalista is able to pop off. Griffin draw first blood in the fight as now Sandbox, they're routed. Joker is so low. Summit as well, he does have a lot of damage and a lot of shielding, and that is an unbreakable that denied a lot of damage there from Lehens.
And it looks like Tarzan and Lehens just want to stop the ability.
Well, I mean, this might just be game, as Griffin are pushing with 3 members towards this base. Ghost does make it back, but he's very squishy. There's the flawless duet, just holding onto it, and Ghost just cannot move towards these Nexus turrets.
Summit
it is going to be a bare Nexus right now. Summit is so incredibly close. The teleport onto this control waters. Tarzan unable to get it, and the Nexus will go down. Fear beyond death, even arms from Sword, and Griffin will get themselves the 2-0, but this one looked different from both the SKT series and every other 2-0 that Griffin have got so far this season.
Yeah, and this is looking a much closer week for Griffin games. They're not as one-sided as what we would expect. In Sandbox, they had a few moments of brilliance in this game. I actually think Summit was doing phenomenal this game.
Yeah.
Obviously had an unfortunate death down there in the bottom lane to sort it in Lehens, but I think that he did quite well on the rise. And I think Sandbox can feel satisfied knowing that maybe any other team in LCK right now, outside of maybe SKT or Griffin, probably would have succumbed.
An MVP interview, so thankfully I've been saved from this interaction. So let's throw it over to Jason for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason with today's translation. Once again, we're going to be joined by Griffin players for the MVP interview. It's Chovy and Sword. Nice to see you guys. It was SK Telecom, and today it was Sandbox. It was a tough schedule. How was it?
평소처럼 한 것 같아요.
I mean, I think we just did as we do usually. It wasn't really that tough.
하루밖에 못 쉬셨어요. 오늘 오면서 또 정말 강팀을
Sword, you only had one day off, and it could have been a bit of a pressure facing up against the second place team. How was it? There wasn't big pressure. We were just solely focusing on our own plays. Griffin, did you see the mic check of the previous episode versus SK Telecom? I think you guys were doing an awesome job over there. And speaking of today's game, you picked up MVP in the first set. So you tied up with Deft, reaching up to the 1,000 points. So you guys first picked Galio, even though Lissandra was open. Why was that?
사실 원래
To be honest, I think Galio in mid lane, I mean, even though it had several nerfs, I have confidence to have laning priority. So we had a first pick card available, so that kind of led us an easier pick and ban in the upcoming ban phase, so that's why we first picked it. Galio was everywhere in the map. You were supporting your players all the time, you were always in the backup, so... Do you remember that play? I don't remember. We were really amazed by how you were so able to make up those plays, but I guess you don't really remember. I mean, if I see a replay, I might remember, but
네,
Maybe
각으로
I just
준비를
did as
하셨다고
I
했습니다.
was,
갈리오
as my
상대로
feelings told me to do. I'm not
정말,
really sure because I don't
상대가 쉽지
remember.
않았는데 라인전은 어떻게 풀어가실 생각이었어요? 사실
And how was
미드
your laning
1차가 먼저
phase with
밀리기도
Galio?
했거든요.
Actually,
사실
Dove
저는
pushed you out of lane and took the first mid lane turret.
풀어 나가고 있었고
I mean, I was
이제
doing fairly
전략을
well
먹혀서
during the laning phase, but
전략을 나가지
Sandbox
못했는데
took the
상대가
Herald,
전략 미드에 깔아서
and
그냥
they
미드
used it in the
1차
mid lane, so I just
내주는
decided
쪽으로
to let them
판단해서
take the
1차
turret.
이겼던 것 같아요.
네, 하지만 그런 상황에서도 정말 침착하게 계속 경기를
I guess
잘
you
풀어가셨습니다.
were able to stay calm
자,
and
저희 1세트
play out the game.
하이라이트였죠. 바론 장면 한번
We prepared this
보겠습니다.
highlight over here. This is the
네, 먼저
Baron
이렇게
team
밑에서 제이스를
fight.
괴롭히는 장면이 있었어요. 사실 이때 키를 냈으면
First, you were
좋았을 것
chasing
같은데
Summit with sword.
상황이 없거든요.
What was going over
그때
there?
제가 탑라인 밀면서 어차피 탑 쳐봤자
I was pushing top lane at first, but I thought that's not really worth it, so I just wanted to catch out Summit over there, but we weren't able to do that, so I just
킬로 잡아냈단
wanted to
말이에요.
join my teammates at the Baron's pit.
옆에 솔방울도 있고 또 궁도 있었는데 풀로 진입해서
And Tarzan flashed in the Baron's pit, even though there was a...
배경 아시나요?
He can actually just jump in.
할 줄은 상상도 못했고요. 그냥 타잔 선수
I didn't really
기량에
expect
그냥
that.
감탄할 뿐입니다. 지금.
I'm just amazed at how Tarzan is good right
타잔
now.
선수의 판단으로 순간적인 판단으로 진입했고 저렇게 바론을 잡아냈습니다. 자 이렇게 1세트 깔끔하게
So,
가져갔고요.
game one was a bit of a clean and
소드
perfect
선수의
game.
우르고사랑
In game
얘기
two,
안 해볼 수가 없습니다.
Once again, we have to mention
사실
your love of
우르고시
Urgot.
먹고 좀 아닌가
Urgot
싶은
had
픽인데도 불구하고
consecutive
그리핀의
nerfs,
우르고시
but
인정하는
Griffin
분위기예요.
still
그 순간에 이제
sticks
소드
to
선수가 있으신데
playing Urgot in top
우르고
lane.
선수 뭘까요?
우르것이 예전부터 엄청 좋고 무난한
Urgot is a
픽이었잖아요.
very
근데 이번에 너프를 통해서
it was
초반에
previously an
엄청
OP
힘들었어요.
champion,
근데
but
이제
after that nerf, it's really
룬하고
hard
플레이
to kind of
방식에서
stay in
초반만
lane in the
라인
early
바꾼다면
games. But
어떻게든 조합적인
if you
측면에서
pick
살릴 수 있을 거라고
nice
생각하고
rune and
우르것을
some
지정한
tanky
거죠.
runes, I think it's still a viable pick.
탑에서 라이즈 상대로 뭐 잘 상대하면 나쁘진 않지만 그래도
So,
쉽지 않단
versus
말이에요.
Rise
어떻게
matchup, it's
플레이하겠다고
not really that
생각하셨나요?
easy, right? What was your plan?
라인전에서 사실 압박감을 주고
During the laning
싶었는데
phase, I
사실
wanted to have
뜻대로
laning
되진
priority and put some pressure, but it was not easy.
잘 풀렸어도 아마
If we had a bit of more cleaner turret dive, it could have been easier, but
아쉬운 부분도
I think
있다고
there was a bit of a sloppy moment.
아까 그리핀이 함께 바론을 치던 모습에서 샌드박스가 오자 쿨하게 바론 포기하고
Well, you guys were
먼저
trying
잡아내는
Baron,
장면이
but
있었어요.
Sandbox
그때 오더는 누군지
was
기억나시나요?
chasing you guys in the Baron's
그때
pit, and you guys
이제
just
상대가
backed up
칠로
and
단체로
re-engaged
싸움각을
over there. Whose
보자.
order was that?
그 콜에 맞춰서 야스오로 포커싱을 해줬던 것 같아요.
Well, we all said that we
좀
should rather
아까웠거든요.
open
바로
team fight over there,
게.
so I
괜찮으셨어요?
just trying to open team fight
이긴
on
것 같으면 바로
Yasuo.
저희 거니까 딱히 아깝지는 않았어요.
It was
네,
okay
결과적으로
because
그렇게
if
다
we win the
잡아내고
team
바론을
fight, we're
좀
gonna
더
take
편하게
the
칠
Baron
수 있는
anyway,
장면이
so it was okay.
만들어졌습니다. 자 그리고 마지막 끝내는 장면 와 여기서 더
And
들어가
how you
이런
guys
생각을 팬분들도
closed out the
하셨을 것
game.
같습니다.
It was really
그 장면
amazing.
함께
So
만나보겠습니다.
let's go through this highlight together.
네 이렇게 상대를 잡아내는 장면들이
So you are picking up
나오고요.
several kills,
네, 사실 여기서 경기가
but at
끝나는
first
것까지 이어질
we
거라고
did not
생각을
expect that the
못했거든요.
game would end here.
여기서 사실 저희는 여기서 끝낼 각을 다 같이 봤었던 것 같아요.
I think we
이렇게
already
밀당하다
saw this
보면
happening,
상대도
and
애매하고
we knew that we were able to close the game out because
밀당에서
we won the
엄청
team fight really
많이
well,
이득 보는 거더라 이런 결과가 나왔던
and we were in a really great position to win the team fight. So I mean, it was a predictable result.
자, 네 경기 영상이 상당히 길게 이어지고 있습니다.
That's a bit of a long replay.
초비 선수는 저때 이제
초비.
뒤로 더 올라가서 경기 끝내야겠다 이렇게 마음 먹고
Were you trying to just break the nexus over there?
일단 우리 팀이 집을 끊을 수 있고
Our players could stop their base.
한번 끝내보겠다.
So then I thought if they can stop their recall, I knew that we were able to just take down the nexus.
그리고 또 귀환을 못하도록 옆에서 괴롭혀주고 있었어요 타자 선수가.
Tarzan was the one stopping their
네.
recall, right?
와 정말 감탄만 나오는 장면이었습니다.
I cannot believe
오늘도
what I just
끝나고
watched.
정말 화이팅하는 모습, 행복해하는 모습
And you guys seemed really happy after today's
감독님께서는
victory.
어떤 말씀 있으셨나요?
What did CB Max told you guys after the game?
저는 오늘 잘한 걸 사실 못 느꼈는데
Today,
팀원들이
I
너무
didn't
잘해줘서.
really think I
감독님
was the
오늘
one who was
컨디션
playing really well.
수상이라고 한 거에
I think all my
좀
teammates were
많이
doing so good.
의욕이 샘솟치네요, 오늘.
But
네,
CB Max
감독님께
also
칭찬을 들어서 더 기분 좋다고
gave me some compliments, so
말씀해
feels
주셨고요.
really
초비 선수
nice.
오늘 전체적으로 본인의 플레이에 대해서
Chobi,
어떻게 생각하시나요?
how would you like to rate your performance today?
그냥 무난하게 한 것 같아요.
I mean, I did okay.
일단 제가 해야 할 걸.
I just did what I was supposed to do. In the situations that I have to do some plays.
다제 역할 잘 해주셨습니다. 자, 이제 다음 경기가
And your next
젠지전입니다.
series is up against Genji. How are you going to prepare for that?
따로 준비할 건
Nothing
없고,
special?
하던 대로 할 것 같아요.
Just as we do
네,
normally.
초비 선수 인터뷰 언제나 즐겁습니다.
It's always happy to have you here, Chobi, on the interview stage. What about you, Sword?
한 마음이니까 똑같이 생각하고
Same.
있습니다.
I have the exact same opinion with Chobi.
계속해서 하던 대로
I guess you guys are gonna focus on your basic routine to prepare for the Genji series.
다시 한번 승리 축하드리고요.
So thank you very much for this interview, and
감사합니다.
I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ji-san. Fantastic to hear from both Sword and Chovy on the interview stage, as the Urgot MVP has bothered my friend LS just a little bit. He's slightly perturbed, but I think he will be back for next week. He's got a few days to recover. He'll be back on Saturday, and then everything will be okay.
You know what's really making me so excited to come back is next week is 9.5 Silas.
Hey,
Who else
that's
is
true.
excited?
Do you know who comes back? Julian comes back.
Julian comes back.
Actually,
too.
I want to change his name to Glenn.
What?
Because if you've seen The Wedding Singer, it's Julia Gulia and Glenn Gulia. Never mind. It's completely okay. We'll leave that. As you can see, these are the standings. Griffin retain their spot in number 1, and now plus 10 for Sandbox. Any victory for SKT in their next match will tie up their game amount line, and also give SKT the point advantage. So second place is certainly on the cards for SKT.